Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. I'm Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809, at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. There is parking on Hillcrest. We are the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. Service begins at 10 a.m. So if you're in our area, we invite you to come and worship with us at 10 a.m. on every Sunday morning. We invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. And if you're not in our area, you can tune in to the Sunday sermon at 10:45 a.m. when we go live with the Sunday sermon. We will ensure that you experience love, and most of all, that you will then begin to experience a better quality of life. We are here every Monday through Friday in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we daily are live, Facebook, YouTube live, RadioFreeNetwork.com live. If you go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, you can click on radio. The Dropbox will appear. Click on the New Life link, and every broadcast will be available to you right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Fiji water from FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you who have made a weekly and monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you to discuss whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. God is concerned about that which concerns you, so you can discuss your present, your future, you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship, you can discuss marriage, divorce, blending families, dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart and whatever's on your mind. It is important to God because God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. However, before I do that, I want to remind everyone that, as always, the first Thursday of every month. Yesterday with us was Rebecca Boover, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who is with us every first Thursday of the month. And this is to ensure that we all are healthy and well. She gives us tips on how to enhance our health and wellness, and we want to make certain that everyone is whole in body, mind, and spirit. So you don't want to miss that. We thank Rebecca for being with us again yesterday. As always, she is our monthly contributor, so you don't want to ever miss that, the first Thursday of every month. And I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have 4 young children and you do not feel that you are getting the help you need from your husband to make everything work. You work from home and your husband works long hours, but he's back in the office. He was working long hours during the pandemic. You said your parents help out as much as possible, and that's a great thing, of course. But you want to know, how do you get your husband to help more and to be more actively involved in making everything work. And let me say this to you. First of all, I don't want to diminish your perspective here, but I do want to respond by saying, first of all, the one thing you don't ever want to do, and this is for all listeners and viewers also, the one thing you don't ever want to do is look for a problem when there is no problem. Perspective is very interesting. And your perspective is that your husband's not giving you as much help as you would like him to be giving you. But you also indicated that he works very long hours at the office. The problem that you're having and a struggle that you're having is that you're working from home, and because the children who are young are a bit disruptive because of their age, when even now that they're back in school this fall, but they're in elementary and secondary education. So, when they come home, they're energized, they're out of school, so they're excited, and they come home and they want to move around, and there's 4 of them. So it kind of disrupts your flow the last portion of the day at work, and you think he should be he should be giving you more help, but he's not able to leave the office when you are trying to adjust to the children being at home because he's working long hours. The good news is that your parents are willing to help. Your parents are helping, and they're helping significantly because they come to the home when your children come home as many days as possible, if they don't have prior commitments, to help with the children. But through your mind's eye, because your husband's not there to help, you're overlooking the help. You said your parents help as much as possible, but you're overlooking the help that you're getting there and focusing on what your husband's not able to do. One of the things that we don't ever want to do in marriage is create problems. We don't want to look for problems that don't exist, because it will disrupt the harmony and the peace of your household. So you have to stay in your peace, and you have to really understand the dynamics. So I'm going to share with you what God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life, and I was prayerful about this. I'm praying for your strength and your peace. And yes, can your husband help out a little more, perhaps on the weekends, to give you a little more time to work on some things that you want to work on and commit his time to the children, although he does some working on the weekends at home also with his career. But yes, he could, and I encourage you to let him watch this to go back and let him watch this broadcast also. He could allocate his time. See, it's all about time management. He could allocate his time a little more effectively on the weekends, and that's a positive. You're going to find it necessary not to take advantage of your parents, because I don't encourage anyone to do that. But the fact that your parents are willing, you're going to have to allow them to help. You wanted them to help on a daily basis. They had to help you understand that they can help every day that they don't have a prior commitment. So they had to help you understand that. You can ask them if they could schedule some things earlier in the day so that when the children come home, you can have a little extra help. And they'll be willing to do that because they love their grandchildren. They love spending time with their grandchildren in the afternoon as much as you love them being there. And they stay there with them until your husband comes home. And then, like good grandparents and good parents and in-laws, they leave and go home when your husband comes home. Not because they dislike your husband, but because they want the two of you to have some bonding time and some private time of your own. So they don't stay for dinner. They don't, your mother helps with preparing dinner, but you have help. So your husband's trying to make everything work with your professional lives, and you both are trying to balance your personal lives and your family life as much as you possibly can. Work-life balance is a misconception. Society has repeatedly convinced us of certain things that we should be doing to make everything work, and it's supposed to look like, what society has created for the norm. But the reality is, work-life balance is not important. Work-life harmony is important. And what that means is, it doesn't matter if one person's doing a little more than the other. All that matters is that you have harmony. See, this isn't a competition. It's just a matter of making certain that everyone's time is being allocated properly. Now, what I will encourage you to do, and I'm going to share with you something that I constantly encourage our Achievers Academy students to do. Now, you're not in our area, but take this as a method to find that work-life, home-life harmony that you will so desperately need as life continues to move on. One of the things that you should do is have your children start having them implement a new strategy. As soon as they come home from school, have them work on their homework. I'm constantly telling students this, particularly our Achievers Academy students, when you leave school every day, the goal is to go home and do homework immediately. And the reason is because you want to make certain that you're turning in good work. So you want your children turning in good work. Have them start working on their homework immediately when they come home. No entertainment, unless they're involved in extracurricular activities. That fun is for the weekend for them. Unless they're involved in extracurricular activities at school, when they come home, the first thing they should do for the first 3 hours is to do homework. And then whatever time they have available after that, you can determine how they're going to spend that time. Because they're minors, so they have to follow your directions and your instructions. You want to have them work on homework so that they're academically successful. That'll give your mother time to, assist with preparing dinner, if the days that she helps you with dinner. That will give your father time to spend with his grandchildren, watching what they're doing on their homework, helping them if he's, able to help, because some of these courses are very difficult for the baby boomer generation. However, it's just about time management, managing the time more effectively and efficiently, and allocating time for specific goals. So that time between the time your children get out of school and the time that your husband comes home. So, he work schedule pretty much keeps him in the office from 8 to 6, and then he comes home. The children should be done with their homework 6:30. You have the opportunity to have dinner together, and then you've wrapped up your business day, and then it gives you the opportunity to spend time with the children, or to allow them to do whatever form of entertainment they might want to enjoy before bedtime. And then that's a time that you and your husband can spend with the children, getting them ready for bed and putting them to bed. And then once they go to bed, the two of you can then catch up on your day and whatever is important to the two of you personally after that. So it's all about managing the time. You're just struggling with the results of the pandemic, the time that needs to be allocated to make everything, the work-life harmony, become a reality. But thank God for your parents, who are able and willing to help with your children. You have a beautiful family, and all you have to do now is not look. All that is necessary now is not to look for a problem, but to just look for that work-life harmony that your family can enjoy, and you and your husband will be able to continue to build a great life, a great quality of life for your children. Your children will be well adjusted. They'll be functioning citizens in the future, and to God be the glory. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are finding it difficult to understand why you work harder than your friends and colleagues. However, they are having the same level of success that you're having, and it's really becoming quite frustrating for you. So this is what would be deemed as your perception. So you feel you're working harder than everyone else. You hear how everyone else is living. You see how everyone else is working, particularly your colleagues, your friends, maybe not so much seeing, but understanding that they're having success in their careers, but you feel like you're working harder than everyone else. And I'm going to begin by saying that's your perception, that you're working harder than everyone else. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if you all are having the same level of success, you're all working hard, or you're all working similarly because you're getting results. You all are those who are not your colleagues are working in different sectors, so they may be working differently because we have to work hard and we have to work smart. We have to work effectively and we have to work efficiently. So they may be working differently. Your hard may not be their hard. You may have some ebbs and flows of challenges with certain aspects of your career, but they too are having ebbs and flows of challenges in their career. But everyone's working. If you're getting the same results, the same level of success, you're all working hard. You're all working primarily at the same level, performing at the same level to achieve success in your careers. Now, you work differently than your colleagues, but you're all having the same success. Okay, so let me say this. Everyone's career dynamics are not the same because the playing field is not always level. Let me rephrase that. The playing field is not level for everyone. And the reason it's not level is because everyone has different contacts, relationships. Everyone doesn't receive the same opportunity for whatever the reasons are. And the reasons don't matter. I know that's going to be a struggle for some people to recognize, but I'm going to expound on that. The reasons don't matter. Because at the end of the day, if you know that other people have opportunities that you do not have, then that means we have to work harder. So, sometimes we have to work twice as hard to have the same opportunities because we don't have the same relationships. Relationships are a factor in career success. But that doesn't eliminate your success. And as you said, you're having the same level of success. So you may be working differently Harder isn't necessarily the fact, though. And the reason is because with relationships comes additional responsibility. If you have a relationship with someone at the executive level that your colleague does not have, there is a higher expectation of you because of your relationship. So there's so many variables in career success. There's so many variables in life success. But at the end of the day, success is success. And what your success looks like and what someone else's success may not look exactly the same, but in your careers, and that may be purely because you're in different sectors, but even if you're in the same sector, but if the reality is at the end of the day you're both having success, you have to change your perspective. Because you can't allow envy, jealousy, or disappointment to disrupt your success. So watch this. You're a homeowner, your colleagues are homeowners. You don't want to compare your life to someone else's life. You don't want to compare square footage to square footage. You just want to know that you have a great quality of life. You both are homeowners. You both have sent, and I know you're singling out one particular colleague, but your other colleagues also. You're all homeowners. Your children have all gone to college or are going to go to college because you all have successful careers. But you don't want to allow disappointment, envy, or jealousy to disrupt your peace and harmony as you go on your journey of life. Success is success. What we have to learn to do, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers now, we have to learn not only to become successful, but we have to learn to maximize our success. Because until we maximize the success of where we are right now and the next level, we will not enter into the fullness of God. So how do we maximize our success? And this will take me through a long dissertation, but so I'm going to minimize it by saying this. Focus on attitude, focus on behavior, focus on commitment, focus on our diligent effort, focus on excellence, performing at the highest level, and be grateful for where we are right now. It's okay, and you have to watch this. So you have to incorporate your faith in this right now, right where you are, to believe that every year is going to be better than the year before, and because you've made progress every year, you're going to continue to progress every year. You're going to continue to succeed every step of the way. You're going to continue to succeed, and you have to believe that in the end, it's going to look so much better than it looks right now. But we have to keep working to reach that finish line. So I want to encourage you, don't focus on measuring your success, your hard work, your work ethic against your family, friends, or colleagues. You're not competing with any of them. You're only competing with you to perform at the highest level. You're already performing at one level now. You want to perform at the highest level. You don't want to compete with anybody else. And the good news is that you believe you're working hard. So if you're working hard and you're working smart, it will pay off. There's more to come. I'm going to conclude this particular response to this communication by saying this. I'll never forget running a marathon, and I had suffered some injury, and I got to mile 20 And I looked at those 6.2 miles ahead of me, and God spoke to me and said, I have more for you, but you have to come and get it. And that has to be our theme for life. God has so much more for us, but we have to come and get it. We have to be willing to work to get what God has appointed and purposed for our lives. And in the end, we will experience the fullness of God, and we will have the opportunity to maximize the fullness of God for the generations to come. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have suits for men, shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And if you order from Charles Tyrwhitt right now, you can receive 3 high-quality cotton shirts for $99. That's a sale any day of the week. 3 high-quality cotton shirts. A sale beyond imagination at $99 at Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. And the White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on 5th Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything that they have everything that you could possibly need. Home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. I know the next time I'm in New York, I'll be stopping in. So I'll make sure that if you're there, I'll say hello at The White Company. If you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. So you want to shop at The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you have been listening to the broadcast daily since COVID began and have been inspired to work more on yourself and your self-improvement, you said. However, you would like some more information. So, I will make certain that I talk in the coming weeks as we wrap up this year about self-improvement, but I'm going to address this even in this short period of time that we have today remaining. First of all, to God be the glory. Thank you for joining us. And I know you referred to the broadcast and you've been listening every single day since the beginning of COVID. So we thank you for tuning in every day, and we thank you for being a part of our listening and viewing audience and for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. So let me say this to you. The fact that you want to focus on self-help, self-improvement is a glorious thing. What self-improvement means simply is this, that we improve every aspect of our lives, both personally and professionally. Now, we always talk about being whole in body, mind, and spirit. So those would be the areas in your personal life and your professional life that will allow you to improve oneself. So think about this. Personally, we want to be healthy. We want our health and wellness. We want to make certain that we're doing everything that we can to improve our body. So, that's why we have Rebecca Bouva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, with us every first Thursday of the month, so that we can really garner some tips on health and wellness, both diet and exercise. So, as we talked about yesterday, really focus on getting more exercise. If you're exercising already, focus on getting more exercise. I've gotten more exercise this year than even years before, and it really has been helpful. And it's good for the mind also. So, first things first, exercise is always going to help. And then we really have to focus on our mind, making certain we're reading, that we are really focusing on improving our cognitive skills. Maybe do some puzzles, take up chess. There's things that we can do to improve our cognitive skills. And then, of course, our spirit. First and foremost, we've got to focus on our relationship with the Lord and really enhance that relationship so that we can experience the fullness of God. And I'm going to talk about this more, but I just wanted to touch on this today. And I'll probably spend some time on this at the beginning of next week also, because self-improvement